Hi friends, it's Melanie on the 3rd of September 2025 with the Astro Weather for the week. It is quite the week. There's a lot going on right now at the beginning of September. Of course, the big highlight is the total lunar eclipse full moon in Pisces, Virgo. And I just came back from the ocean and put my feet in the water, was just tuning into the waves. And when the waves are really powerful enough, there is no thought, I find. There's no room for thought, right? Because the waves are absorbing your mind. This is my experience today. And very apropos Pisces Virgo, especially also with the North Node in Pisces. So we need to fill up our cup either literally by the water, in the water, or in anything that feels oceanic, maybe music, maybe dance, anything where you can have a beautiful immersion into. And we are being absorbed in it, and our worries, our concerns, our to-do list, all these Virgo themes, our complaints, our problems, all of that gets absorbed. And I'm just noticing the light is fluctuating here today as well, just like the Piscean kaleidoscope. So yeah, things are morphing and changing in a gentle and in a very in a way that that changes your energy field, right? Changes your vibration. This is a Piscean invitation with the North Node and the Pisces full moon. This eclipse will be, I call it a seed eclipse because it comes with a North Node. And here is the chart for the um, full moon. And the full moon will be on the 7th of September 2025 at 11:09 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. So since the sun will be up, the moon will be below the horizon. We can't see that eclipse, that red moon, that blood moon here from the west coast, but it will be visible in Europe, Africa, and parts of Asia. So one, the astrologers would say also in the areas where the path of the eclipse crosses, as I just mentioned, will be most affected by her. And so here is the invitation, as I said, to drink in, to bring in more of the beneficial Pisces energy. What is Pisces energy? It's unifying. It is really connecting, spiritually connecting, asking for help if needed, and changing our vibrations so that the task at hand, so to say, the Virgo side, and the alignment with what needs to, where things need to, are out of alignment, could be also dysfunctional, could be also things are not working at this time, a Virgo concern, right? And if you're very much trapped in this problem zone, it might not be the best approach. Much better to get out and escape from it, and as I said, connect in good ways, which can also literally mean connect with people who can help you. So, and also with prayers, with blessings, with anything that brings good energy into the field, and then also problems can solve rather. And another theme with this eclipse and with the Pisces Virgo dynamic is be part of the solution, not part of the problem, whatever that means in your world, right? And that even has to do with our transition into the Aquarius age, out of the Pisces age. That's so a side angle here, because the Aquarius age asks us to contribute from our best, contribute to the evolution into a new era, and again, being part of the solution in that regard. While, of course, also releasing old residues of the Pisces age, which might be also washed up with this Pisces full moon total lunar eclipse. And what I mean by that is also so much suffering, so much codependency, so many addictions, all these distortions actually of the Piscean theme of connectedness, right? So the suffering can be also can be evoked through dependencies and perpetrators, victims, suffering, all of that. But that's not the connection we want to support. We need to be spiritually connected and unravel all this mess at the same time, also getting away from compensations of the Piscean connection idea, which could mean like codependencies again, and also addictions typically, which can be substances, behavior, so much addiction out there now, and chaos, right? So at the same time, connection is what we need more. Then we have now also quite a shift actually into Virgo Pisces from two other angles as well. One would be Saturn having re-entered in retrograde Pisces on September 1st. You can see on the full moon eclipse chart that this is like, you can't even, differentiate which one is Neptune, which one is Saturn. Neptune is still in early Aries. Saturn is now freshly back in Pisces. Both go retrograde. Neptune will also go back into Pisces on October 22nd. And they're relatively close together for the rest of the year, although they were the closest at the very beginning of Aries in July. And now as Saturn goes for one more period back into Pisces, half a year until kind of a little bit less, 5.5 months, until February 14th. This is also a big wrap up and a big inventory, so to say, with Saturn for closure of anything that is Piscean in your world. And if you have planets, if you are a Piscean, especially born mid March and towards the end of Pisces, or have planets, moon, sun, moon, nodes, ascendant, and such there, Saturn will help you actually sort things out, and also maybe also come more into your authority, into a natural or spiritual authority. In other words, listening to inner guidance, not giving the spiritual authority away, having good, healthy boundaries, although being open as Pisces is, but also boundaries as needed. And that can also be boundaries in terms of protection of your energy, because Pisces can sometimes, feel overwhelmed, be very sensitive, pick up so much energy, or also overwhelm themselves with being open to anything and being everything for everybody. So Saturn helps us protect our energy field. And yeah, so also in following inner guidance, as I said. Then we have also on the Virgo side a new addition, which is Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, entered Virgo on September 2nd, yesterday. So now we have currently the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, and they will come together on September 13th, already super close for the eclipse full moon. And both of them are also, I didn't pencil that in, forgot, I have to add it. They're also both close to the south node. So yes, Mercury in Virgo is really helpful to, after all this Leo energy, to make us again more practical. The mind is oriented more towards practicalities and also maybe more humility after so much Leo bombastic energy that hopefully got also sorted out with the retrograde phase from July 17th till August 11th. So you might have noticed in your life, maybe also through self-awareness in your own life and also in people in your life, where so much attention is needed. Lots of narcissism is out there. Leo, look at me. And of course, a lot of that being an overcompensation of the natural Leo dynamic of showing your love and radiating solar energy, radiating from your heart. And that is naturally attractive, right? Not overcompensation and dominating the scene, dominating the conversation, and all of that. We know the dynamics, right? Then yeah, so currently Venus is still in Leo, the last Leo planet at this point, until end of September. When is that? 26th, I believe. Oh, let me just guess. When does Venus enter Virgo? Oh, okay. Don't have it here right now. It is actually on the 19th already. So we are having in this eclipse phase with September 7th, the total lunar eclipse, and 21st of September, the partial solar eclipse new moon, the second new moon of the second Virgo new moon this year. We have both Venus in Leo and Mercury in Virgo during that time. So we can also cultivate healthy self-love and also let go of all these like being completely in this to-do mode, into the hamster wheel again after school and work has started. We need to fill, as I said, with the Pisces side, which is super strong now, fill our cup and connect and relax and release and forgive, change the energy. What else is on this week? Uranus is also a big player. Uranus will go retrograde, and Uranus it's the higher octave of Mercury already. Why? Because Mercury is mental energy, it's our mind, it's a messenger, and Uranus is an awakener. So it can actually help us awaken the mind and from the mind, and paradigm shifts, liberation, all of that, out of the box thinking, even, right? All of that is Uranus. And of course, it also, as a transpersonal planet, as a slow moving planet, 84-year cycle, has also to do with the zeitgeist, with the current energy in the field. And Uranus has freshly entered Gemini, the sign of one of the two signs of Mercury. That happened on July the 7th. Here's Uranus. Is now like at 1.5 degrees in Gemini. That's as far as it gets this year, and then goes retrograde from September 5th on until February 4th. So Uranus, with this slow moving U-turn, is currently a stationary planet, a focus, because it's slowly changing gears, and that really affects us typically when planets change direction, not just signs, that of course too. Yes, Uranus will also change signs and go once more back into Taurus. That will be November 7th until April 26th next year. So it's now very cuspy, just like, the Pisces Aries cusp is activated and the Taurus Gemini cusp. So slow moving planets activating these cusps here. Even Pluto retrograde in early Aquarius is also quite cuspy. So all these three point together to a big shift of time. An era is changing, and we know it. Uranus in Gemini has a lot to do with the experimentation and a runaway avalanche of AI. Uh, it's a, a it's a disruption of the natural intelligence through artificial and engineered intelligence and innovations in that regard. Yet Uranus goes retrograde, so it's also a backing away from where things have gone maybe too wild and crazy. And it's also about finding inner liberation just from the archetype itself. And then from the cusp dynamic, Gemini, Taurus has to do also with the voice of the body, with the language of the body and of our senses. How can we reconnect and find freedom and find shifts in consciousness through that? And also, it has to do, of course, with Taurus, with nature and with the natural environment. So when we are in a natural environment that really stimulates our senses in a beautiful way, we feel free, we can breathe, we are feel awake, and things are exciting, right? So it's also very supported with Uranus now to backtrack from all the outer rush and maybe also lots of communication disruption and trouble. Actually, also Uranus in Gemini combination with Mercury retrograde, and to ground that energy, all this electrical energy that Uranus represents, needs to be grounded, like literally also grounding our wired energy, especially when we are a lot on the internet or otherwise overstimulated. So Uranus approaching Taurus again, where it goes into, as I said, November 7th, over the winter and early spring can really help with that. What's going on with the moon this week? And also, by the way, we're now in the central part of Virgo, and as you see, like from 10 to 20 degrees. All right, that's the 1st to the 11th of September, and that has a Taurus undertone. So the center of each sign has an undertone of the fixed sign in that element. And the earth element for Virgo is, of course, fixed sign is Taurus. So that has to do with being of service and doing things, be it like for self-care, for our own health and wellness, for our own lifestyle, but especially also with being of service to others, that brings joy, brings us joy, brings them joy, and is an expression of our values, is aligned with our values. Being aligned with our values in general is very much apropos Virgo Taurus. And now, in terms of the moon this week, we have currently the moon in Capricorn. So in general, you probably noticed it in the last 2 days since September kicked in, that the energy is so much more grounded after all that Leo fire, and now also Capricorn moon even. Still on until tomorrow morning at 3:32 a.m. Then she goes into Aquarius, the very earthy energy, very wonderful to actually find our ground, do things also slower, slowing down, and noticing also how we, feel more solid, right? That is the idea of Capricorn is about solid. I was today literally sitting on the rocks, having the feet in the water. That felt so good. And of course, I knew it was the Capricorn moon, and that worked super, super well. Now, so solid, having also tuning into traditions, maybe connecting with elders, with ancestors, with the inner elder. Capricorn moon is like a grandmother moon energy, and beautiful in that regard. Still on overnight. Then the moon goes into Aquarius, and we are already getting closer to the full moon. So Aquarius tomorrow, the 4th, all day the 5th, and that's interesting for the 5th because on that day is also when Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, goes retrograde. So the 5th and 6th, I should say, because that is on overnight. The Uranus retrograde is here on the west coast on the 5th, and it's on the 6th from central, no, from Eastern Standard Time eastward. So at that same time, in any case, the moon is in Aquarius. Uranus is literally going retrograde on that day, and so this is actually can be quite a shifting energy where we feel like, oh wow, there is I have an emotional breakthrough here and not a breakdown, right? And paradigm shifts and seeing things in a new light and of seeing also the system, which is very apropos Aquarius, can be your own system around you, of your community, your family system, the system of society, the astrological system. There's all these systems. That's all a very Aquarian theme. Seeing systems in a new light and seeing through that and not being so trapped, but actually free, all right, by understanding the system better. Then we have the moon going into Pisces on the 6th in the morning, 8:54 a.m., and will be, of course, all day, the rest of the day in Pisces, and all day Sunday, the day of the total lunar eclipse, which again will be at 11:09 a.m. in Pisces, and then enter Aries on Monday around noon, 11:37 a.m. Pacific. So the Pisces full moon and total lunar eclipse can, as I mentioned before, feel kind of overwhelming, but at the same time, it's a beautiful golden opportunity to also do ceremony, for example, right? Especially before the full moon in this case. So if you want to if you feel like bring in better energy here into your life, doing a ceremony that aligns with that is symbolic, right? So be creative, be imaginative. That's very Piscean. And create a ceremony about spiritual energies, showering and blessing you and all. And with Pisces, of course, it's always not just about you personally, it's about the whole field, right? So we can't just, just it's all for us. No, no, no. The whole planet, humanity, all sentient beings need to be free from suffering, need to be free to be themselves. And that also comes out when the moon shifts into Aries, because Aries is about the self is emerging. This is about authenticity. This is about showing up and coming out of this collective consciousness also as an individual being. And that can feel strongly. That can feel very strong on Monday, especially since it's after the total lunar eclipse, and also the moon will connect with Neptune in early Aries, and Neptune rules Pisces. So this whole continuum of Pisces and Aries gets emphasized, right? So that is also, in a way, this a transition from the old Pisces era into the new and unknown, right? So stepping out, stepping forward, making the first steps, and not being victimized victimizable, and yeah, and showing up, right? That's an Aries energy. Yeah, so still on Tuesday, Moon is in Aries and then goes into Taurus in the afternoon of the 10th. So, but I'm not going into that. That will be the next astro weather of next week. I wish you a beautiful total lunar eclipse week and see you on the other side. Ciao.